there? Oh, that's a red lipstick you are getting open. Please don't smear that everywhere.
So they're both rolling. Talk a little bit.
Blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh, we're doing it again. Da, 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 da.
All right, that's better.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Filming a video. See you later. All right. Welcome everybody. Day 48 of lockdown here in Los Angeles. I know that a lot of you guys out there live in states where maybe you're not on lockdown anymore, but here in LA, still at my house. So welcome back to my bedroom. I'm so excited to bring you guys this video because this is answering a question that we get so much on a lot of our videos, and in particular on the last video that we put out, that was the 25 interior design DIYs to do while stuck at home. So many of you guys love that video. We had so many amazing comments, and not only comments, but you guys, this creative weirdo community that we are all a part of, it's such a cool community because you guys are so good and talented, and so many of you use that video as a jump start for your creative projects. And I am seeing so many pictures and videos posted on Twitter, on Instagram. I'm trying to reshare as many as I can. But yeah, so many of you guys use that to jumpstart your creative projects. So follow the hashtag Creative Weirdos on Instagram because you'll be able to see a lot of them. Look at my tagged photos, follow me on Instagram. I repost things in my stories like pretty much every day. So many of you guys did the projects. The brush blot wall was a huge winner. The mud cloth wall. I mean, literally, you guys are so impressive. So yay. Inspiring creative weirdo community. This video is coming at you for more inspiration because on that video, one of the #1 comments or questions that we got was, what if I rent? I know a lot of you guys are living in rentals. I lived in rentals just up until this house. This is our first house that Joey and I live in. OMG, we bought a house. And also we decorate for people in rentals all the time. So this is something that we're very experienced with, but I think that it has a range of rules. So whatever the case is, if you guys live in a rental, if you guys are living at your parents' house, if you guys own a house, this video will have some tips and inspiration for you regardless. But we are going to be focusing on things that are renter friendly. They're divided into deck the walls, so all about ways to spruce up your walls without having to paint them. Building a good strong foundation for your design, so furniture, placement, all of that. And then the jewelry of the room, so making it pretty with accessories, so important. And then finally, light it up. So without further ado, let's also thank Swiffer because Swiffer is sponsoring today's video, and I'm so thankful. In a little bit, I'll show you guys our 15-minute cleaning routine, which we do daily, and this has been essential for us, especially during this time. We will get more into that, so thank you, Swiffer. Before we get into the video, please subscribe. It means so much to us. We just surpassed 4 million subscribers, which is so incredible and amazing, and that's so many people, and I can't believe it. And I'm so thankful to all of you guys who have subscribed. So please, if you're watching this video and you haven't, hit that little subscribe button and hit that notification button so you guys know when the next video is coming, because we are working on some really fun quarantine content for you guys. I might just say the word virtual design could be happening. I might just say the word Airstream could be almost finished. So yeah, subscribe. So let's get into the video. Oh my gosh, guys. So this section is deck the walls. So maybe you have ugly walls and you're not allowed to paint. Or maybe you already have painted and you like your walls, but you want to add something, an accent wall or something like that. So this section is for you. And they are all removable and renter friendly, damage free. Wallpaper. I know, you guys knew I was gonna say that, right? Well, it's true because removable wallpaper is a renter's best friend. So pattern is a beautiful option to create not only an accent wall, you could do it on just one wall, or an entire room. We've done removable wallpaper in a lot of variations. There was that rental space that we did where in the kitchen they had this sort of odd closet door. We added removable wallpaper to it in this beautiful blue and white pattern, and it just became an artistic moment in that space. Another removable wallpaper moment that I just loved in a rental was our $10,000 giveaway room makeover that we did when we reached 1 million subscribers. This was this beautiful wallpaper mural. So the difference between a wallpaper And a wallpaper mural is that the mural is a contained image as opposed to being a repeating pattern that you could put on multiple walls. So this one was just meant for one wall, and wow, did it make such a big difference in that otherwise beige space. Nikki DeMar's 70s inspired room makeover that we did on OMG We're Coming Over. We did 2 different kinds of removable wallpaper in there, the patterned one and then also that kind of like stone look on the wall where her TV went. In the Williams family room that we did for our HGTV special, we used a removable wallpaper that had a beautiful pattern in their living room, and that was really budget friendly, and it was a way to just bring in a ton of pattern in this sort of global inspired vibe. Now, if you don't want to put the effort into doing a removable wallpaper, you can use wrapping paper. I know this is a little bit more of a like crafty way to do it, but in our dorm room 3 ways video, you can see we use this donut pattern wallpaper to just create a patch of pattern on the wall in what was otherwise a white cinder block room. And we just used some wall paint safe tape to tack up wallpaper, use wrapping paper to create a patch of pattern or color. Really easy, obviously, and really inexpensive. Wall decals. Okay, so I love wall decals. Now this is different than a wallpaper because a wallpaper is meant to give you a repeating pattern. It's a larger scale. It can cover a whole wall or multiple walls. Decals are kind of more in the art zone of things, but we've used decals in a variety of different styles of designs. We did in James Charles' room the palm leaf decals coming down in those little molding insets. This was a really cool way to highlight those molding panels, but still keep with his very like black and white kind of minimalist aesthetic. Now, if you wanna go fun and wild, we use decals on the staircase in our 70s inspired room makeover. We actually use decals elsewhere as well in the room. And this, of course, was in a rental. We did paint the base color, but as you can see, these decals on the staircase create just a moment of art. I got these off of Etsy. We've used decals in our BeautyCon booth. This was a few years ago. We had a booth at BeautyCon and we needed a way to spruce up the walls that could be removable. And we used decals of some hand-painted watercolor gems that I had done. And of course I can't talk about decals without talking about our dinosaur decals that we did in Colleen's space. These are hand-painted watercolor decals that I did that we just scanned in, and then we found a decal place online. So you just basically send them the file, tell them how large you want the decal, they print them and ship them to you. So it was really easy to do, and obviously we did these unapologetically gigantic. Like that Brontosaurus was like so big on the wall and I just love it. Washi tape. Now, I love washi tape. I use it all the time in my bullet journals and stuff, but I've never done a full-on wall treatment with them. So Blondine is a fellow creative weirdo. She watched the 25 interior design and DIY ideas to do while stuck at home, and she got inspired to do this washi tape pattern on her wall using geometric shapes. She tagged me in it and I was like, Blondine, please send me some videos of this because it's so cool and I want to share it with you guys so that you guys can get inspired, because as you can see, it just has such an awesome effect in her bedroom. And washi tape is super removable because it's just a paper tape. And of course, her handle will be in the description below. So go give her a follow, because I just love all of you guys supporting your fellow creative weirdos, because this is a super supportive and very inspiring community. Number 4, wood plank wall. So wood planks like shiplap and all that is obviously so stylish right now. The kind of modern farmhouse look is very on trend, but of course it's not seen in a lot of rentals. But you can achieve this look in a rental that is wall safe. We did this in Lily Marston's rental apartment on OMG We're Coming Over. We took thin pieces of wood, cut them down to be the size of shiplap, and then attached them with wall safe mounting strips. We did it in our beachy bedroom makeover with the horizontal planks. We put those up with nails, but obviously you guys now know how to do it with mounting strips. and using the thinner pieces of wood. And also in Colleen's nursery, we did the chevron pattern with the wood. So as long as you have your mounting tape and your thin pieces of wood, it's your creative weirdness that can dictate how this wood wall looks. Make sure you share those pictures with us, okay? Number 5, fill it with photos. Okay, so you guys know I love a gallery wall. We talked about it in the 25 DIY ideas video. But beyond that, let's talk about if you just have a plain old wall, you don't want to paint, you don't want to put up removable wallpaper, you don't want to do a wood thing, but you want to create some visual interest. Filling a wall with photos and art, a gallery wall, or just even putting up large scale art can really add so much to just a plain old white wall. We did a beautiful gallery wall recently in the house that we made over where we used a bunch of different colors to create a whole color palette gallery wall around some family photos. Another space that I haven't actually shared with you guys because we updated it not that long ago is our gallery wall in our house. Now, yes, we own, and we put these up with nails, but these frames are super lightweight, could very easily be put up with wall-safe mounting strips. And you can see how much this whole story of color adds to just this plain white wall in our dining room. So let's move on to the next section. Section I have titled The Big Stuff. I know it's not very creative, but guys, it's about the big stuff in the room. So you've dressed up your walls, you've got your color or pattern or visual interest going on there. So now we got to get to the center of the space. So the furniture, the rugs, the layout, all of those big and important things that make a huge difference in the livability of your space. Clean it and mean it, you guys. Okay, so this is about how to prep your space because you really can't make an interior design beautiful without it looking clean and tidy. I often tell people to purge items before we go in and help them because less is more when it comes to clutter. You want to make sure that all of your stuff is nicely tucked away. So thank you, Swiffer, for sponsoring this video. And Joey and I here at home have a clean 15 routine. So 15-minute cleaning routine that we do at the end of the day where we basically get everything off of the floor, use a Swiffer duster to dust off any fuzz or dirt. We have cats, we have so many textiles, rugs and pillows and things that give off dust. So dusting is so important. Also vacuuming, we do this in like a train. And I follow with the Swiffer Wet Jet, which I love because it's so easy to dispense the cleaning fluid and just get the floors clean and sparkling because let me tell you, Moon is like the fastest crawling human out there. So that's what we do at the end of the day, but I also love the Swiffer Sweeper, which is really great for just like quick cleanups because it acts as like a sweeper and a mop all in one because basically after every meal with Moon, there's food everywhere. So yeah, and as I mentioned before, not only is cleaning so important for just design, it's also important for your state of mind, right? So especially during these 48 days at home, our clean 15 routine has been so important to reset our day. So at the end of the day, just like fly about the house, get it clean, and then we have a refreshed space to wake up to the next morning. So that's been really key for our mental clarity and our good vibes. So the way that this applies to you guys too is before you try to start tackling those bigger design and decorating projects, think about tidying and cleaning up your space. What can you get rid of? What can you give away to a thrift store? What can you put inside baskets? I always try to make sure that everything has a place so that the surfaces aren't cluttered all the time because you guys have kids. If you guys are just working throughout the day, you know that by the end of the day, your tabletops are covered with things. So if you have less is more going on to begin with, it won't look as messy at the end of the day. So once you've got your tidying and organizing and cleaning done, it is now the time to talk about floors. Floors, or should we just call it rug cuddle? This section is called rug cuddle because whether you live in a rental or you own a place, rug cuddles are essential. And what are you rug cuddling on? Your area rug. So area rugs are my favorite way to disguise ugly floors. You have ugly floors in a rental, add a rug. Just use a non-slip rug pad, or you can also use double-sided rug tape to keep it secure. And don't be shy about the size of your rug. If you have an ugly floor in your living room, get a rug that spans pretty much your entire living room. Like, you can have it go under your sofa and under your chairs. I see a lot of people get really small area rugs that only fit under their coffee table. I think it's a more successful look to have the area rug go under your entire conversation area. Some successful rug moments we've had in rental apartments: this beautiful kind of light blue toned rug we used in Shazen's What's My Aesthetic episode. Jocelyn Davis's OMG were coming over in her studio apartment. Also in Tiny's bedroom, a great example of someone who purged a lot of clutter, and the rug obviously just creates some softness underfoot. Now, if you're saying to me, Kate, I have carpeting, I have wall-to-wall carpeting, can I use an area rug? This is a question I hear so much. Yes. If you learn only one thing from this video, let it be this, everybody. You can put an area rug over carpeting. I do have one rule about it, and this is just a functional rule. You want to make sure that the rug is thick enough so that when you put it over the carpeting and then you put furniture on top of it, it doesn't buckle. We've done this in so many spaces. We had that beautiful luxe glam ivory one in Andrea Brooks's bedroom, which just added so much because that carpet was like really dark and she wanted like a light, bright color palette, but she was in a rental, so we couldn't tear out the carpet. So instead we just brought in a nice big chunk of a light colored area rug. We use a rug over carpeting in our $10,000 room makeover as well, a nice thick fuzzy one. And we also use it in the 70s apartment makeover over that like brown carpeting that they had. So we brought in another white fuzzy moment there. And in our under $200 bedroom makeover, we also added a rug over carpeting. And this was like a thicker wool rug. So many examples of rugs going over carpeting in a successful way. So do it. It's okay. I'm telling you, it's okay. Wallitis. This is an affliction, a condition, if you will, that Joey and I have diagnosed many of people with. It is a condition, granted, that we have made up of our own definition. Wallitis, right here. Wallitis. This is a really important tip for renters because I cannot tell you how many rentals I've walked into, and homes in general, where people create floor plans for their furniture by lining the walls. Take a moment right now, look around you. Are you suffering from wallitis? Well, thankfully, you are watching this video because I have a cure to offer you. It will only cost you little beads of sweat. That's all it's gonna cost you to move your furniture off the walls and create a new floor plan, because this is such an important tip to make your space look designed. Any magazine you open up, interior design magazine, Pinterest, whatever, you don't see furniture all along the walls. No. The bed's placed in the middle of the room, it's coming out, there's a nice bench at the bottom of the bed. This furniture is taking up the space of the room. The sofas are off the wall. Just because the sofa has a back to it doesn't mean the back of the sofa has to go against the wall. No. Our under $1,000 house makeover, that big living room was just wallitis to the max. All the furniture along the walls. In our garage playroom makeover, they had a case of wallitis too, with the sofa up against the wall. We brought things into the center, namely that beautiful big table that we made. So check out some of these cases of wallitis where a quick revamp of the floor plan cured them. Heartwarming, isn't it? So I just talked about getting stuff off of the walls. You know it is okay to put against a wall? Shelving. I love to use floating shelves, but obviously in rentals, that would mean putting a lot of holes in the walls. You can get the look of beautiful floating shelves, that kind of airy look where you can style beautiful decor items and stuff to really elevate your spaces in a rental without having to use floating shelves. My favorite piece of furniture for this that stands on the ground is called an étagère. Now, that is basically the French word for shelf, but if you search étagère online, you will find a ton of options. And essentially the étagère that you'll be looking for is a backless bookshelf. The reason that it looks so nice to have it backless is you get that airy look to it, right? You get that kind of floating shelf look to it as opposed to a bookshelf that has a backing to it. We have 2 étagères in our house. I've styled them with books and plants and crystals in Paula Galindo's rental apartment. We use those 2 etagers on either side of her day bed. So look for some etagers. Now, if you do still want the look of like floating shelves without the frame and kind of a more whimsical style than like an iron or a wood bookshelf, you can do our DIY rope shelves. Now these you will have to probably mount with a couple screw holes in the wall, but like I said before, it's pretty easy to just patch a couple holes, and before you move out you can just prime the walls again, and the landlord will just have to repaint anyways, because they usually are supposed to repaint after you move out and you've been in a space for over a year. So these hanging rope shelves you can just put up with one shelf bracket on the very top shelf, but then the rest of the shelves just cascade down because they're all connected by the rope to the top shelf. So you only need enough holes to mount the one shelf. Windows! Does your rental have vertical blinds? Are you suffering from vertical blinds? I feel like I'm making an infomercial for tragic decorating and design situations. What are vertical blinds? They're those blinds that you just pull across that have the plastic slats, and they're just like really ugly, and they're in so many rentals. So if you're suffering from vertical blinds, I'm sorry. I've been there. Our last rental apartment that Joey and I lived in, we moved in together into this rental apartment. There were vertical blinds on all of the windows. What I realized is that you can leave up the track, but then you just unclip all of the little plastic slats, and you can put into the little clips your own curtains. So basically buy curtain panels, and then you just shove the tops of your curtain panels up into those clips, and then you can use the track to open and close now cloth curtains. The other thing is you can cover up the actual track with a new valance. You can hot glue up, or with more removable mounting tape, some fabric panel or something to kind of conceal that track. So you now have a valance around the track and new fabric curtains hanging down from your clips, and no more vertical blinds. Another great option for renters is window film. If you don't have curtains at all, or you don't want to put screw holes for the curtain brackets up, or you don't have blinds to begin with, you can use window film. We did this actually in Lily Singh's office. Of course, that wasn't a rental, but it's an example where we used window film. And this was a really cool rainbow fractal window film that worked really well with kind of her rainbow design in her office. And the great thing about window film is you put it up with water. You use like a squeegee and a spray bottle, and it just goes up with water, so it's thus also really easy to remove. We also use a frosted glass window film in Anna Grace's What's My Aesthetic living room makeover on this window that looked into like her landlord's yard. So the frosted glass window film was a great option there. Make it pretty, or as I like to call it, jewelry of the room. So this is just a really great way to bring joy and personality to a space. Like if you're annoyed that you can't paint your walls and you're trying to dress up your space, maybe your budget isn't there yet and you can't afford some of the larger items, these smaller ways, these smaller DIYs can really just add so much life and personality and happiness to your space. Artwork. So there are so many ways you can bring artwork into your space, even if you are not allowed to put holes in your wall. So I've talked already before about wall safe mounting strips. It comes with one side that sticks to the wall, the other side sticks to your artwork, and they sort of Velcro together. Make sure you're reading the instructions on how to apply these. Make sure your wall is clean. Make sure you're using the right strips for the right amount of weight. So you can do this. You can add artwork to your walls without putting holes in it. So here are some ideas for DIY artwork that I think are really cool, really easy, really budget friendly for all of you renters out there. This drip paint bicycle that I created in the under $300 living room makeover, literally you just dip a paintbrush in one color paint and then just let it do its thing. And you can do this larger scale as well. And what I love about it is it's obviously paint. So on a wall where you can't paint, you can still add the element of DIY paint by painting your own artwork. Another beautiful way to use paint is the acrylic pour method that we used in the Dolan Twins makeover for OMG Are Coming Over, just using different colors of acrylic paint with the thinning medium and a little bit of the silicone to create those cells, and just letting it flow all over the canvas, and it just created this beautiful marbled look. And obviously you can do it on any size canvas you want, but we use that big, large canvas, which just added so much color and texture. So acrylic pours are one of my favorite things, and let me tell you, they are so fun to do. One of our most well-received art techniques that we did, the dragged paint art that we did in Chloe Couture's room, which is literally so easy. We just did it on a piece of wood. So you could do this on a canvas or a piece of wood, anything that you have lying around. You just drag the paint across, you add some glitter, and it just looks so cool. If you don't want to do any crazy paint techniques, you're into more of a minimalist look, a more monochromatic look, you can just do one color of paint on a canvas. I know it feels weird to like buy a canvas or take a piece of wood and just paint one color, but this is a way to bring color to your walls without having to paint your walls. So we did this in our office goal series where we made over the offices where we weren't allowed to paint in them. I just took big canvases, painted it whatever color the person who was inhabiting that little small office was into. Obviously hang them up with mounting tape, and you've got a nice patch of color in a space so you can just decorate in a minimalist way around it. Or you could do what we did in Shazen's room with our solid colored canvas and use it as a mood board and tack up inspirational images with little pins onto your canvas, which is a really fun way to just bring in a little bit of pattern onto this big patch of color. If you have a kitchen or bathroom in your rental that is just drab and sad and you want to do a quick update to it, a really inexpensive thing to do is to change out the hardware. You can see that we did that in our under $300 kitchen makeover, and also in our kitchen makeover that we did for a fan where we just gifted her this whole new kitchen. You can also do this on pieces of furniture too. We did this in Andrea Brooks's room with the beautiful crystal knobs, and also we used some butterfly knobs on the side tables in the Ace family girls' bedroom. So changing out hardware can be really effective. Contact paper is a renter's best friend. I've seen people use this on countertops. I've never personally used it on a countertop, but I know it works. We've used it on refrigerators. In Tati's beauty room on OMT We're Coming Over, that refrigerator was not marble. No, it had a different pattern on it that she really didn't like. So we used marble contact paper to totally cover up and make it look like this glam fridge. We also used contact paper on the side of the refrigerator in our 70s apartment makeover. So obviously a really great way to update appliances or countertops that you're just not loving in your rental. Upcycled furniture is a great tip for you renters out there, maybe trying to think budget friendly. You guys know I love to get thrifted furniture or even side of the road finds or hand-me-downs and update them. And the reason why I'm giving you guys this tip for renters is because a lot of times those big pieces of furniture in your space, if you can update them in some way, it will just add so much design and beauty to your space. Some of my favorite upcycles that we've done is we took this coffee table and we turned the top upside down and made it into a shadow box table because the underside had a little cavity. So look at your furniture literally upside down and see, like, think outside the box, do something cool. We also took an old vintage suitcase and turned it into a bar cart by just adding legs to it and lining the inside with a fun fabric. You old school creative weirdos might remember the classic stick chair. That was a chair that was totally dilapidated. We ended up finding sticks and creating the backing to it, painting it, adding a new cushion cover to the old cushion, totally making it this like fun statement chair. Very whimsical, obviously, but one of my favorite old school upcycling moments. Color and pattern can bring so much to a rental. A lot of people will just kind of stay safe and just buy a solid rug and solid curtains and solid pillows, and all of a sudden you have sort of bland accessories going on bland furniture in a bland room and you're just feeling bland. But if you can bring in some patterns, bring in some pattern on those pillows, bring in some pattern in the rug, some easy ways to do this is photography. Photography brings in so much color and fun, and it's not hard to do. You guys may remember the banana photo shoot. Took some glitter, rhinestones, marker, and did a photo shoot with literal bananas on white paper and blew them up into these really cool pop art photos that we framed in lightweight frames and hung them on her rental living room wall. I love the triptych of brush strokes that we did in Jocelyn Davis's rental studio apartment. This was just taking one color of paint, painted brush strokes on it, made it into a triptych, so basically framed it in 3 different frames. Again, lightweight, put them up on her wall using some wall-safe mounting tape. If you want to save money, not get new pattern curtains, but add some pattern to your existing curtains, maybe try doing some watercolor curtains. I actually did this as a DIY in my book, A Hot Glue Gun Mess, and made a video for it as well, but basically just took watercolor, painted some fun splotches to create just these really vibrant, playful curtains that obviously totally dress up just like a black and white space. So there's so many ways to add pattern and color. All right, our last and final section, light it up. You live in a rental that maybe doesn't get great natural light. Maybe your windows are kind of small, or you're facing another building and you don't have light streaming in your windows. Your lighting is going to be where you get that happiness, because sunlight improves your mood. Well-lit spaces improve your mood. So it is time to not only accent with lighting, but illuminate with lighting, some bare lighting, some statement lighting. And here are some ideas on how to do that in a rental without calling an electrician to come and open up all your walls and create new wiring for you. No. Recessed conversion kits. I love these. You've seen us use these in My Life as Ava's bedroom, the Dolan twins dining room. So basically, if you have a recessed light that's like an old school recessed light with the can and the bulb screwed in, you can unscrew the bulb and get these pendant lights that essentially have the bulb connection to it and transform your can light into a pendant light. It's so transformative, and there's so many different styles available. So check it out, Recessed Conversion Kit. If you don't have recessed lights and you still want the look of overhead lighting, use a swag light. We use this in so many rental spaces as well when there is an actual wiring over like a dining table or a bed or somewhere where we really want to highlight it with lighting. We just swag. So what does swagging mean? It means using a cord kit that has a plug on one end and a bulb on the other end, plug it into the wall where there is a plug, and then run it up the wall, run it up in a corner, or run it straight up the wall, swag it over along the ceiling and then down above the dining table or the bed, wherever you're placing it. We usually use screw hooks, so yes, we put one little hole where the light is hanging and then probably another little hole where we swag the light. But you could do this with mounting tape. If you're gonna do it with mounting tape, I would suggest using a lighter weight light fixture, so one with like a paper shade. We also did paper shade swag lighting over in Nikki DeMar's dining room. We did swag lighting in Mia's own. She were coming over, the boho style. We also have done it in kids' rooms. We did it in the playroom a while ago using a bulb conversion kit and then faux flowers, which I just wrapped twine around to create kind of a light fixture moment over a little pillow corner. And then we also used it in the budget-friendly tween bedroom makeover where we swagged a light over from the corner to kind of use as like a bedside lamp. So I might not have swagger, but I have swag. Light. That should be a t-shirt. Oh my gosh, come on, merch. Floor and table lamps. I mean, couldn't talk lighting and not talk about floor and table lamps. But the reason why I'm highlighting this is, again, if you live in a darker rental space and you're just feeling a little bit depressed or bummed out, try bringing in lighting. Obviously, the floor lamps are great in a corner. I'll use them next to a plant or just by themselves in a corner or behind a chair. Table lamps are great on side tables, on dressers, on credenzas. And you can even DIY some. We have our DIY cement lamp, which is really cool with just a little Edison bulb, or throwback hello to the DIY faux flower lampshade, which I did on a thrifted lamp base from the Goodwill. Okay, next up, plug in wall sconces. I don't think wall sconces are used enough in interior design. I don't think people think about them as options often enough. So I'm telling you, in a rental, if you use them as bedside lamps, as you use them on either side of a sofa, it's so cool to have like a piece of art in the middle with then wall sconces on either side. Or you can use just one. We used just one in my life as Ava's rental beach house near her little window seat area. We did one in James Charles's house right by the piano. You can also find ones that have a little bit of a cord cover, so it's kind of like a metal piece that comes down. We did those in Joey Graceffa's office makeover on either side of the sofa. We have plug-in wall sconces right behind me as our bedside lamps. Because we didn't have the wiring hookup there, I didn't want to have lamps on the table anymore. I wanted a little bit more of an updated modern look, so we just hung them on the wall. All right, number 20, final tip for you guys. This is also in our lighting section, even though it's not technically a light, and that is mirrors. Not only can they reflect windows and magnify, bounce light around your space, they can also reflect some of those beautiful new lights that you're bringing into your space. There are some really strong wall-safe mounting strips that you can use to hang mirrors, but just make sure, again, you're reading the weight allowance on the wall tape and weighing your mirror. But you don't have to hang it on the wall. Mirrors look amazing leaning against a wall, floor mirrors leaning against a wall. We did that from the floor, or if you have like a dresser or a vanity or a credenza, you can lean a mirror on top of that as well. You don't have to mount them. So finish it off with a mirror to reflect that beautiful design that you've made double. Okay, so to just end it off, here's a little bonus tip for you guys. Enjoy it. Yes, it is a rental. Maybe it's not your forever home, but you know what? It's your home for now, and you deserve to enjoy the space that you're in. Take that wonderful creative weirdness that is inside of you, that makes you you and unique, and reflect it outside onto your walls, onto your floors, onto your ceilings, in the space around you to just make you feel more you. Please leave a comment below if you have any more renter tips. And also, guys, keep those pictures coming. Please keep sharing, adding me, tagging me, because I love to repost and make sure that the whole community of creative weirdos can see your geniusness. So make sure you follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on all of those places. Yes, I'm on TikTok, you guys, and I've been having a lot of fun. Like, make sure you're subscribed. Comment below, and obviously all the links for all these videos and projects that I mentioned in this will be down below, so you can check it out for more info on that. Oh, and thank you so much, Swiffer, for sponsoring today's video. You can check out more info on Swiffer and the products we use in our Clean 15 routine down in the description below. I'm Mr. Kate. Stay creative, stay weird, stay you, because why not? I love you so much. Bye! Hello, welcome to this very weird time. So this video is all about giving you guys 25 different tips, from DIY tips to decorating ideas that you can apply now in your home using supplies that you have on hand. So I've divided this video into 3 different sections. We've got paint projects, easy, fun ways to just zhuzh up your space using paint, DIYs, and that includes a range of ideas, but you know, pulling on the things that we might have. And then our third section is decorating tips, just ideas on ways to pull your bed together or style the shelves or walls around you to just refresh your space and make you feel like you're quarantine chic. Self-isolation iconic.